Hey guys, Blameitonjorge here. Since we're halfway through the year, I decided to ask you guys what you thought were the biggest lost media finds of 2024 so far. Don't worry, we're still doing our big grand end of the year video that documents everything that was found, but I thought a community driven halfway update would be cool. So, it's list time. Kicking things off is all the Foodfight discoveries that were made this year. Foodfight is an animated film widely regarded as one of the worst films ever made. Thankfully, the story behind its production is arguably more interesting than the movie itself. It was slated to be released sometime in the early 2000s, but due to delays and production issues, the film was pushed back to 2012. While the end product was far from satisfactory, the creators had an elaborate vision that wasn't completely fulfilled. This became even more apparent with the abundance of material recently uncovered. This included never-before-seen assets, everything from concept art of characters and locations, full character models, behind-the-scenes footage, a sizzle reel, bloopers, and if that wasn't enough, the entire work print. To top it all off, assets from an unreleased tie-in video game are included as well. The game, planned for the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox, was initially meant to coincide with the movie's release. Not much is known about the game, other than it being a 3D platformer starring Dex Dogtective. The game was shown at E3 back in 2006, but it was seemingly cancelled in the following years. While a full build of the game has yet to surface, assets such as 3D models, sound effects, and more were uncovered, making this piece partially found. So how was so much Foodfight related content brought forward after so long? This brings us to Rotten, the documentary, as all of these assets were provided to aid in its production. Said assets were uploaded to the Internet Archive by Ziggy Kashmir, the creator of Rotten, with contributions and new discoveries still occurring as I'm writing the script. Sometimes all it takes is one person to uncover a slew of never-before-seen production material. Unfortunately, our next entry, while similar, takes it a bit too far. What is literally the biggest find of the year? The Disney TVA leak took a lot of people by surprise. Now I must stress that the Lost Media Wiki and I don't condone leaks. This is more so rare or unreleased media that was never lost in the first place. But a lot of you mentioned it, so let's finally talk about it. The story takes us back to late April of this year, when an anonymous user on 4chan posted a leak to a DTVA show called Martin and Yolotzen. I can't find much about the show online, so I can only imagine it to be some failed pilot that was never picked up. A different user, who will later be known as Leak Anon, commented, "Here's some way more interesting stuff than whatever that nothing but their cancelled development project is." And listed are a whole bunch of links to apparently leaks of other Disney animated shows. Responses were pretty mixed, and some users weren't too impressed, like this guy. "The only Disney pilot I'm interested in is Very Important House. I would appreciate it very much if you could post it." In response, LeakAnon uploads even more leaks, and the replies were what you expect. This is literally a damn jackpot, holy shit. OP starts off with some literal Who pilot. LeakAnon bodies the fuck out of him with a jackpot of unseen content, including the fucking entirety of Very Important House. LeakAnon, I have two questions. 1. How far back can you leak? And 2. Got anything from Motor City or Tron Uprising? LeakAnon then returns for a third and fourth time, providing even more leaks. In total, the final list of leak pilots and pilot bibles includes Randy Cunningham 9th Grade Ninja, Gravity Falls, Wander Over Yonder, Mega Mega Whoosh, Beverly Hills Chihuahua, The 7D, Jake's Teen Pirate, The Ghost and Molly McGee, Very Important House, Amphibiland, Country Club, The Owl House, Haley's on It, Kid Cosmic, 101 Dalmatian Street, Kif, Fishhooks, and plenty of others. These leaks were later posted to the YouTube channel Epcot's Berry, but have since been taken down, as well as the original Catbox links also no longer working. They're kind of just floating around the web, and even reposts to the Internet Archive occasionally get taken down. Regardless, the leaks made huge news onto sites like Reddit and Twitter, and even online news outlets reported on the event. Whoever Leak Anon is remains a mystery, and given 4chan's anonymous nature, I doubt we'll ever truly know. Another prominent find in the community that many of you brought up is a pilot for a show considered among the greatest animated series of all time. The Boondocks is an award-winning staple of Adult Swim that saw a 9-year run on the programming block. Prior to its 2005 premiere, the show was a popular comic strip by Aaron McGruder, initially created in 1996. The Boondocks follows brothers Huey and Riley after they moved to the suburbs with their granddad, who is their legal guardian. Between the 1996 comic and the Adult Swim run, a short pilot was produced for Fox. While the exact date isn't known, this pilot was created sometime between 2003 and 2004. Due to the adult humor and topics of the source material, McGruder found it difficult to easily compromise with the restrictions of Fox, as they are a mainstream network. For this reason, this early pilot was not entirely faithful to the humor and vision of the comic. Ultimately, Fox rejected the pilot sometime in 2004. It's unknown if the Boondocks pilot was shown publicly in any capacity. According to some online claims, the pilot was supposedly shown at a few conventions, though no proof of these showings actually exist. Fast forward to 2016, when Carl Jones, the producer of the series, posted a 20-second clip of the Fox pilot to his Twitter account. It was clear from the snippet that the art style also differed significantly from the final, more anime-inspired aesthetic of the Adult Swim series. The full Boondocks pilot officially surfaced on February 17th, among the earliest finds of the year. While it remains unknown how the pilot was obtained, an uploader known as Cal_Eastwood made it available on archive.org. What is personally my favorite find of 2024, the search for the original Backrooms location is a mystery I once thought to be impossible to solve. Alas, the internet continues to surprise me. The search for the Backrooms is so in-depth, it could probably warrant its own video, but let's keep it brief. The story begins in 2019, when a user on 4chan makes a post asking for images that just feel off. Attached was the image of the Backrooms, and a later comment gave its now famous description. If you're not careful, and you clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the Backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpets, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum humbuzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. Following this post, people started to explore and further develop the idea of the Backrooms, turning it into a modern-day urban legend. New levels, beings, and other backroom-esque levels were created, forming what is now known as the liminal space aesthetic. But only a few dared to ask, where did the original Backrooms image come from? Some thought the photo was taken behind an abandoned Sears, while others believe it to be completely computer-generated. Due to 4chan's nature, it was far too late for searchers to ask the original poster of the thread, so we were left in the dark. Where we last left off, a thread containing the image of the Backrooms was discovered in 2018. This image's Unix code, when converted, gives us a date of July 15th, 2012, implying it was posted or downloaded around this time. Its resolution was 640 by 480, and its file size was only 62 kilobytes. With this extensive knowledge on hand, a Discord user named Semalot decided to spend countless hours digging through old 4chan threads from 2010 to 2012 for an image with similar details. In late May of this year, a user named Sarara from the Virtual Carbon Discord server found a match from a 4chan thread dating back to 2011. What was most revealing about this post was the image's file name, DSC00161. This name implies that this exact image was taken from a Sony digital camera and was simply not a repost. Shortly after, a different user named Petatus Redux searched for this file name on Twitter and found this tweet, which links back to a website called hobbytownoshkosh.com. By plugging this website into the Wayback Machine, the Backrooms was discovered, uploaded back in 2004. But what is Hobbytown Oshkosh? Well, it turns out it's a blog for a new interior raceway in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And one of the few surviving images that the Wayback Machine managed to save was the back rooms, as well as this never-before-seen image of the same interior. That's right, the back rooms is in Wisconsin. Not only that, but this one person solved it years ago, and no one noticed. While the back rooms was my personal favorite find of 2024, the most voted find by you guys was undoubtedly Ulterior Motives, also known as Everyone Knows That. This mysterious song absolutely blew up in popularity online, garnering a cult following and a dedicated search effort. And how it was ultimately found was just as memorable, cementing it firmly in internet history. So back in October of 2021, a user named Carl92 posted a short snippet of an unknown song onto What's That Song, a website for identifying music. Users on What's That Song were unable to identify the track, and the mystery briefly went cold. The song was later reposted on the r/lostwave, garnering huge amounts of popularity. The song became known as Everyone Knows That, or Ulterior Motives. Not much was known about the song at first, but searchers were able to gauge some details. 1. The song was likely from the 80s. 2. The lyrics, although slightly debated. And 3. Because the OP, Carl92, was from Spain, it was assumed that the song was also from Spain. Unfortunately, Carl92 disappeared shortly after uploading his snippet. Theories range from the song being from a commercial to having been completely AI generated, somehow. And of course, a handful thought it was all an elaborate hoax. But even fewer thought that the song came from an adult film. Well, they were right. Eventually, the song was tracked down to brothers Christopher St. Booth and Philip Adrian Booth.
They said, oh my God, your song is everywhere. There's millions of people searching for this. Everyone knows that / Ulterior Motives. And we had to, and then it was only April 28th, which is just like a week or so, a little over, maybe close 2 weeks ago. I don't know what it is now, but that they located our names to the song. And then, Instagram, Twitter, Messenger, all that stuff, everything blew up. We found it, and then we started looking at TikTok and went, I have to tell you, Jack, it brought tears to our eyes to see so many kids singing the song, miming the words, making their own videos. I never knew how huge it was. It's been going on since 2021.
Yeah.
And they only discovered our names attached to it. It's at 12.5 million now on TikTok. I mean, we're just blown away.
And thankful.
On April 28th, Reddit users South Pole Ball and One Truth 5867 skimmed through 12 hours of adult films that used music from the Booth brothers. Lo and behold, they found the missing song in 1986's Angels of Passion. And man, oh man, were the memes great. In fact, a lot of the top posts on the Everyone Knows That subreddit are just shitposts. So yeah, it's safe to say that this is probably the biggest find of the year, unless something crazier happens. We'll just have to wait and see.